mandatos, mandatos. We're talking about commands. This is from 2.1 in your book, 2.1. So we just watched the tutorial on VHL, and I think a good thing right now would be for us to kind of see what we retained and see what we're going to compare a little bit. Our affirmative commands, our mandatos afirmativos with our mandatos negativos. So I would like to see what are some rules that you can think of for mandatos afirmativos. You guys had asked me before, sometimes you said side by side, comparisons help you. So with mandatos afirmativos, can someone mind grab me another color of marker, any color from the top? What is something about an affirmative command? Tell me a piece of knowledge you remember.
They are usually in the same form as L or A.
Okay, to conjugate it in order to form them.
In the present tense.
Okay, in the present tense, and that's a very good distinction. Okay, gracias. It's the same conjugation as the el, ella, usted form. Okay, what else? What else can you tell me about affirmative commands? These are positive commands.
There's about 8 irregulars.
We have the 8 irregulars. And what order, what do we say them in? Pon, ten, ven. Repeat it todos. Pon, ten, ven. Dice. Hazle. Isal. Pon, ten, ven. Dice. Hazle. Sal. Pon is for what verb? Yeah, muy bien. What am I missing? Go ahead.
The accent.
We need an acento over which one? Say. And what does it mean? Be. It's from the verb which one? Ser. It's from the verb ser. Pon is which verb? Poner. Tener. Venir, and it means to come. Like come here. Decir. And it would be easy to accidentally think that was dar, because remember, D is the preterite tense of dar, right? So D is decir, to say or to tell. Okay, we talked about that one. Az is hacer, ver. Ve is ear. In this context, it's going to be ear because it's one of our irregulars, right? And salir. Okay, what else can you tell me about affirmative commands?
Here and there have the same 2 commands, so it's all based on context.
Okay, here and there have the same command. It's ve, and so it's going to be based on context. Okay, what else?
They're used to give advice or command.
Okay, they're used to give advice or command, and I would say that about both columns probably in that case, right? To give advice or to give a command. What are some of the rules with affirmative commands when we're talking about direct objects and direct object pronouns? Okay, when you use with a DOP, when used with DOP, attach the DOP, you're going to link it. You're going to link the DOP to the end, right? Attach DOP or link the DOP to the end. So let's, if you guys will look at your packets, please. If you're looking at your packets here, and turn to the 3rd page, let's do an example of that. So on your 3rd page of your packets, the very first infinitive says hacer la cama. And I would like you to please define each of these infinitives, okay? Hacer la cama. ¿Qué significa hacer la cama? Make your bed. Okay, and you want to zoom in on here? So you're going to write down hacer la cama. You're going to write down make the bed. Okay, what's your direct object going to be? You're writing that just in the little box below it. Make the bed. What is the direct object? The bed. The bed. Okay, so the affirmative command, the very first column, you're going to put the affirmative command in there with the direct object. So how would you say, make the bed? Muy bien. Az la cama. Make the bed. Az la cama. Make the bed. Okay? Now, the second, and I would make yourself a little note on the second column. The second column is going to be a with your direct object, with your DOP. Okay, the second one is going to be with your DOP. So how do you say make it? Oh, did I mess up again? POD. No, POD is pronombre objeto directo. It's in Spanish. Yeah, there we go. Okay, DOP, POD. So how do you say make it? Hazla. Okay, and it's actually attached right to it. Hazla. Hazla. Try to go over it maybe a little bit so that they can see. Yeah, I like it. Okay, hazla. Now, what do you know about affirmative commands? What do they have to have a lot of the time? They're going to need an accent. They're going to need an accent. All of them, except for the irregulars, will need an accent. So put that at the top of that column. All of the affirmative to commands need an accent except the irregulars, right? So, like, let's try prender la computadora. What is prender la computadora? It's the third one down.
Turn on the computer.
Turn on the computer. So you're going to write down to turn on the computer. Okay? And second period, I know I forgot to have you guys do this, so please go ahead. Before you turn in your packet and get credit from Miss Beckman, you're going to need to define each of these infinitives. Okay? So how would you say turn on the computer with the direct object? How would you say turn on the computer? Prende, thank you very much. Prende la computadora. Okay? Now how would you tell me to turn it on? Turn it on. Prendela. Prendela. Now, check this out. Okay, prendela. Where, if I put prende, where does the emphasis fall on this word? If you say prende, it falls on the first where? The A. This one right here, right? It's not prende, it's prende. Do you hear it? Yeah. Prende. Repite todos. Prende. Prende. Not prende. Okay, that's not right. Prende. In order, it goes on the second to last syllable. Second to last syllable is where the emphasis always falls in Spanish for this particular type of word. We'll say that. Okay, usually in Spanish it falls on the second to last syllable, the penultima. In order to maintain the same pronunciation, when we add the la on the end, what is the second to last syllable now? Prende la. Repite todos. Prende la.
Prende la.
What's the second to last now? This one would be, right? So then it would be prendela. Okay, that doesn't sound right. And so, because it's not going to follow our normal pattern with being the second to last syllable, you have to mark that accent and tell people, hey, I want you to keep the normal pronunciation. Prendela. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why would you not have to have an accent for azla?
There are only 2 syllables.
Yeah, azla. There's only 2 syllables and the emphasis falls on the second to last, right? Does that make sense a little bit? Okay, so how would we state that? For our affirmative commands, when we're talking about our affirmative commands, what can you tell me about them then? They what? What can you tell me about our affirmative commands and accents? When you use them with a DOP, you can link the DOP to the end, and you have to link it to the end. You cannot put it before. Maybe we should put that on there. DOPs can't go before. They absolutely cannot go before. Okay? What's the other thing that we just talked about just now?
They need an accent.
They need an accent. You need an accent when linking DOP Which is less confusing for you? You need an accent when linking it to a DOP for more than one syllable or for all of them except for the irregulars? You can say it either way. All except for irregulars?
Yeah.
When linking DOP to all verbs except our 8 irregulars. Okay? Yeah.
Doesn't this also work with IOPs and reflexive say?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep, sorry, we're starting just with direct objects, but yes, it would work the same if you added IOP or a reflexive say. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, are there any other questions just on affirmative commands? Any other questions on affirmative commands?
Nope.
Okay, so in your packets tonight, the other things that I would maybe want you to know, when we do our negative commands, where does the direct object have to be? You have to put it before, so maybe write that above your third column. Adios, have a good day, be good, be safe.